Hi everyone, welcome. This is Rio on Paper, and today we will be looking at my currently inked for my fountain pens of November. So what I have been trying for the past couple months is to pick a set of fountain pens for each month and ink them up with different inks so that I can sort of create a color palette that on the one side allows me to experiment a bit and have fun with my inks, have sort of an ink that goes with any type of paper, any type of setting, any type of decoration. And on the other hand, that just goes well with the current season. So for this month, I have a very fall themed lineup with some new pens that I've been wanting to try out, but also some pens that I have been using for the past couple months. A carryover that I used last month, but that is not empty yet. There's all kinds of stuff here. So what I have today is this little Hobonichi memo pad. I have this very handy pencil board, and I have this set of fountain pens that we will be writing down with their ink combinations. So I'm gonna put them to the side and get them out one at a time, and I'll write down what pen it is, what nib size I have in it, and then what ink I have inked them up with. So for the first pen, we have this one. You may have seen this one in my last plan with me. This is my Pilot Metropolitan in extra fine. So let's just write that down. So the Pilot Metropolitan in Houndstooth, I believe it's called, with an extra fine nib, inked with Aurora Black. And I love Aurora Black because it is a really, really true black color. It's very dark. It's a bit shiny. Let's see if you can actually see that. It's a very shiny black color, and I really, really like it. Let's zoom you in just a bit more, like this. That way you can actually see what I'm doing. Next up, we have this beautiful pen. This is a very, very light pen, a very matte pen, and a pen I really, really enjoy writing with. This is the Pilot Lightive, which is sort of a variation on the Pilot Explorer. I have this in a fine nib, and I've inked it up with just a standard Pilot black cartridge that the pen actually came with. And maybe you'll see that this black is not as black as the Aurora Black ink. It's actually, compared to the Aurora, it looks kind of faded. Next up, we have my carryover from last month. This is the TWSBI Eco D in Saffron, a lovely, lovely yellow color. And I've inked this up with Aurora and Klingner Helianthus, which means sunflower. And it is a lovely color. It goes really well with browns, with reds, with oranges. But I still have quite a bit of ink left because yellow is just not a color that I write a lot with. I can read this yellow fairly well in good lighting, but in very dim, very yellow lighting, especially in the evening, I do have trouble reading whatever I write with this ink. So it's not an ink I use as much, but a lovely writer nonetheless. Next up, we have a new pen that I wanted to try out this month, and that is the Ferris wheel press, the Carousel pen. The color is Hearty Harvest, each one of this year's colors. It's a lovely orange. To be honest, on camera it shows up a bit more vibrant than it actually is, which can also be said for all of the pictures I saw on all the shops. So I was quite surprised when this came in and I unboxed it, and it turned out to be a little more sort of faded, desaturated than I had originally expected. But to be honest, I kind of like it. I got this one in the fine nib. It is a bit smaller and very light, so I do tend to cap this one, to post this one, sorry. And I have inked this one with Diamine Ancient Oak. Wait, it's not Ancient Oak, it's Autumn Oak, sorry. Diamine Autumn Oak, there we go. I always confuse the name with Ancient Copper. Next up, we have this one. This is a Lamy Lx in the Marron brown color. I have this one in extra fine, and I have inked this with Montevideo brown sugar. And I have found that that is a very, very wet ink, but it still writes really well. Next up, we have one of my favorite pens, even though it is very much a starter pen. This is the Sailor Compass in what they call yellow green. I'd prefer to call this light green or maybe olive. It's a lot more olivey, to be honest, on in real life than on camera. On camera, I think it looks kind of vibrant green, which is not really the case in real life. Also a smaller pen that I like to post. It is a medium fine nib. You do not have a choice with these pens. They all come with medium fine nibs. But to be honest, I love these medium fine steel nibs from Sailor. They give a lot of feedback. I really, really understand it when people compare this to writing with pencil on paper. Some people hate it. Personally, I love it. And I've inked this one up with Dominant Industry Leaf Green. Then for the second to last pen, we have this Jinhao 82. I believe this color is called Deep Blue. But to be honest, the color names on the AliExpress website, which is where I got this, are kind of confusing. So you can just call it whatever you want. It reminds me of a Starry Night Sky, for example. And this is also a pen that I recently got and hadn't gotten around to trying yet. And to be honest, I've heard very mixed reviews about these pens, but this one has been such a great writer. And I've inked this up with a really, really gorgeous ink, namely Diamine Eau de Nil, which is a lovely blue color. I got this in extra fine. And yeah, let's see how it writes. And then on to the last one. Probably no surprise if you have seen my very first video. This is the Lamy Lx in Ruthenium. Extra fine, inked up with Diamine Gray. And that is it. These pens are my currently inked for the month of November. To me, this color palette is like autumn. There's no red in here. I had Diamine Ancient Copper for last month, but I did actually finish that ink, so I did not ink it up again this month. Would have gone great with this, but to be honest, I don't write so much that I can really afford to ink up more pens than these and still do a different pen and ink combination each month. I probably could if I could do it once every 2 months or once every quarter. But for now, I think this is a good amount of pens that I can actually finish in a month, or at least I'm going to try. We'll see if that actually happens. Lots of extra fine nibs. Those are my preferred nib sizes. And as you can see, I almost always match pen to ink in terms of the color of the pen body and the ink color. That is just something I enjoy. I get a major error in my brain when I don't do that. When there would, for example, be purple ink coming from a orange pen. I will be back at the end of the month or maybe the beginning of December to tell you what I thought about these combinations. I already have some observations, but before I make any comments on that, I would like to write a bit more with them. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you will continue to follow my fountain pen journey. If you ever have any tips specifically for inks that I really have to try, feel free to let me know in the comments, and I hope to see you in the next one.